Welcome to the Working Hour. This is a WHMS podcast. I'm Mike.
And I'm Shane, and on this week's album, we are going to be reviewing the album Portal by Balu Brigada. Just let you know, I did look up a interview of theirs to make sure I got the name right.
The pronunciation.
Yeah, apparently Balu is it's from the bear from the Jungle Book, and then Brigada was just like a cool word that they just put at the end of it to zhuzh it up a little bit. Balu Brigada is a New Zealand indie rock band originally from Auckland. The act was formed in 2016 with 4 members. It is led by multi-instrumentalist brothers Henry and Pierre Beasley. They have released 2 extended plays, I Should Be Home in 2022 and Find a Way in 2023, and the compilation Balu in 2024. Their debut album, Portal, was released on the 29th of August, 2025. In May of 2025, Balu Brigada announced their debut album, Portal, released... Oh, fine, you already know. Along with the release of the album's 3rd single, Backseat. The album was written and entirely produced by both members whilst on the road touring. Alongside this, the Portal tour was announced, which is set to begin in Mexico City in October and conclude with Austin, Texas in November. The album's 4th single, What Do We Really Know, was released on July 24th, and the 5th single, Politics, was released on August 19th. The 6th and last single, Sideways, was released on August 27th, 2 days prior to the release date of the album. During my research on the album, it was kind of hard to find an exact listing of the singles off the album due to pretty limited information.
Yeah, there's not like a Wikipedia for this album at all, which is usually we're lazy.
Yeah.
And that's what we pull from, and it's like, yeah,
it's all right there.
Nothing, bud. Nothing for this, which is kind of neat.
Yeah.
We're kind of cool. We're covering something that's kind of uncharted waters.
Yeah. And I feel like it is just kind of due to this being the band's like first official album. The site Album of the Year. Normally I have Metacritic scores. This time it is Album of the Year. With its total user scores of 924 reviews, gave this album a 79 out of 100.
Pretty good.
Yeah, that's pretty.
I stand by that
for like a first debut album.
And they're pretty young too.
They are
young enough.
With 414 users giving it a score between 80 and 89, and a whopping 2 users giving it a score between 0 and 9. So, and then like in between like 0 and 9 and like the, 10 to 19 and the 20 to 29, I think even like the 30 to 39, like I don't really think there were any reviews listed there. Maybe in like the 30 to 39, but like 10 and 20, nothing. So, do you have anything else to add?
I do. The duo, the 2 brothers, Pierre and Henry, right?
Mm-hmm.
They gained a lot of worldwide recognition when they went on tour with 21 Pilots in 2024. So yeah, that kind of gave them a little bit of fame. I also saw a lot of people saying this is like such a summer vibe album.
Absolutely.
And they kind of released it. It was released late August, I think.
Yeah.
Which is kind of like the end of summer for us, but I guess that's when summer starts in New Zealand.
Oh,
which I thought was kind of a nice little thing. It's like, all right, that's why it's released, this time of year.
It was.
Yeah.
So, interesting.
Just a neat little tidbit. I don't have anything other than that.
Okay. So jumping right in, we are going to start with track number 1, The Portal. Right away, there isn't a ton to be said for the song, as it is only a minute long and basically just serves as an intro for the album, and serving as a bit of a prelude to the second song on the album, So Cold. The song is synth-heavy all the way through, with some electronic zipping and warbles before a deep wall of synth hits. About 4 seconds in, switching tones about every like 4 seconds or so, with little gaps as it starts to grow louder and louder. At 39 seconds and 48 seconds, you get little snippets of the vocals from So Cold, Reasons to Stay, Reasons to Go. It's very in the background.
And they're spaced out too, like you said. It's
Yeah,
8 or 9 seconds of just
sure,
gap in between. It's nice. Creates a little atmosphere.
for sure. Around the same time, the synth incorporates more of the keys sound in parts before the song ends. Like much like it started with the electronic zipping sound becoming more like loud and pronounced. While not much of a song, it does serve as an intro and a companion piece to track number 2. So I have to give it like some credit. If the second song sucked, like I wouldn't be as generous on this one, but I give it a 6.4 out of 10.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not really gonna elaborate a lot because you pretty much said all that I have to say about it, and it's a short track, um, right around a minute runtime, so there's not a whole lot. I had the same thing, the lyrics, reasons to stay, reasons to go, and you get that on the next track. Similar notes, like very similar. It's a nice intro track. I consider it an interlude just because it's so short and it fits the album. But obviously, like this isn't something. It's like track number 1.
Get it on there.
It's my favorite track by
Sure.
no means. I gave this a 6.0 just based on the fact that it's kind of hard to rate based on how short it is, but the fact that it does fade into track number 2, and it kind of gives a little subtle hint with the 2 snippets of vocals we get. I can appreciate it, like you said.
Okay.
But that will take us to track number 2, which is called So Cold. We already elaborated on it. I have the runtime as 3 minutes, 22 seconds. The track definitely opens up seamlessly, like with the ending of track 1. I almost think you could combine the 2 together and it really wouldn't. I mean, you would have made track number 2 a minute longer. Would have been fine. But this album is kind of, I don't want to say it's a concept album, but in a way it kind of is. So it's nice that they split it up like that. I really don't have anything against it. But the first lyrics we get on track 2 is the only lyrics we got in track 1, which is Reasons to Stay, Reasons to Go. We really get like the full lyrics around 10 seconds. It's very upbeat, very energetic. You're actually starting to get a taste for what is to come for sure. We pick up speed around 40 seconds, and then we kind of changes into like a funnel noise, like a hallway funnel noise, and then it comes back where they just kind of, I don't know, it's like echoey, I guess.
Yeah.
It's a very dancey, bouncy song. I pulled a couple verses. Try a different road. Where does this one lead to? Nobody knows. Used to know you well. Now I'm chasing a ghost. Dancing with your skeletons, rattling bones. That lyric reminded me of the bonus track we did a few episodes ago with Shaky Graves, where it was.
Yeah. Okay. Sure.
So that was kind of neat.
Yeah, like 2 weeks ago.
Definitely not inspiration at all.
No, not even close.
Not even close. Overall, I like this one. I don't really have a super high score for it because it's still, especially like what's to come, even like track 3. I really do like track 3. But this one gave me a sense of optimism. I almost treat this as track 1 just because track 1 being so short and being kind of like an interlude. This was really like the first taste of what I'm going to get into later in the album. So this was nice. I didn't give it a crazy score. I gave this just a 6.5, which still wasn't terrible.
Okay. So I got the song opens with like a little like cymbal beat and some guitar notes and repeating the lyrics from the previous track, reasons to stay, reasons to go, and then it has like a kind of love this one before it like really gets going. There's also like I would say like a 1, 2, 3, 4, but it's not. It's 1, 3, 4, and it gets going. The music coming in proper about 9 seconds in, with some bass and some steady drum beat and a high-pitched guitar, along with the vocals, reasons to stay, reasons to go. I used to have the answer, and now it's just too close to call. The vocals accompanied with the music at moments reminds me of something from like the mid-2000s, like kind of like radio pop rock a little bit, in the vein of something like, I don't know, maybe Train or like Maroon 5 or something like that.
Fair enough.
Kind of see. At 43 seconds, the lyric, waiting on the call, and then call drags out till about 1 minute. This whole stretch, the guitar drops out, the drum beat changes. Let me see. Sorry, I lost it for a sec.
Very good.
And the bass comes in very prominent with a swell of synth towards the end of the stretch, leading right into the chorus as the guitar and the drum beat comes back. It isn't like you to be so cold, pulling me in and letting me go. It isn't like, it isn't like, it isn't like, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I like the more yelly part of yeah. The guitar on the chorus is very metallic and distinct, and the delivery of you being very like effects heavy too. The song repeats the same structure that came before. Going into the final chorus, there's kind of like this rising pitch of rapid like string plucking. The outro from about 301 to 321 is the, let me see. Oh yeah, that's the rapid like plucking. The music throughout is like layering itself, and so cold, so cold, so cold. Um, Song ending with what sounds like a tape being ejected, kind of. Um, I thought this song was pretty catchy and a nice little like banger to really kick off the album. I gave this a pretty decent score. I gave it a 7.8
Nice.
out of 10. So I like this. Then going into track number 3, we have Golden Gate Girl at 3 minutes and 18 seconds. There's a rapid 1 second burst of drumming before some repeating synths, and like a double synth beat comes in, alternating pitches, which ultimately becomes like the musical like through line for the song. At 15 seconds, the drums, guitar, and what is either the bass or some like deep buzzing synth comes in. At this point is when the laughing effects comes in, and I'm like 90.
I was gonna say, did we confirm that was a thing? Because I didn't look into it. It does sound very familiar, but I don't know if it's it 100%.
I don't think
it's not. I don't think it's a.
It might not be.
I don't think it's a perfect copy, but it is very similar. And
it's
makes you wonder.
Super similar. And this album does like kind of have like a.
At times, yeah, for sure. This track too, especially. It's got multiple groups that it sounds like to me.
Yeah. Yeah, and they all like, I feel like they all kind of exist in that like 2000s kind of bubble. Like I could see them being inspired by like the Gorillaz.
Yeah.
So maybe it's not. Maybe it's not the laugh sample directly from it, but
it sounds exactly like it. We could say that for sure.
At 28 seconds, the vocals come in. I took a trip across the bay. You said I'd come out to see you. $30 at 2 a.m. I made my brother worry, which it's funny. It kind of like, whenever I was first listening to this, I didn't realize they were brothers.
I didn't either until I did some research, and it made me appreciate it even more.
I'm like, oh, okay.
They're very talented.
Yeah.
The one brother, I think, kind of looks like Mick Jagger.
I could totally see it.
Okay, I'm glad. Yeah.
The more like square face
one.
He's
got the lips too, kind of.
He does, yeah.
Bit.
Uh-huh. The I made my brother worry line comes up a lot in the song. The chorus at 55 seconds. Golden Gate Girl.
Yeah,
like
I literally have it spaced out like that too.
I like that. Ghost. The guitar brings out a really high pitch. And the laugh from earlier in the track repeats a couple of times. Going into the second verse, I swear the drums and synth are louder than they were on the first verse. And the buzzing also gets like a little deeper. And then we met in Sacramento, then picked back up in Ohio. You said take these, the high is gentle, but I don't really think it worked though. On the second chorus, it replaces the ringing guitar with a much spacier like synth, from what I gathered. You take the roads you want to take, and you can meet me at the gate, Golden Gate, and then there's there's also a cha-ching sound into a brief pause. I made my brother worry. Repeated the last 18 seconds. And it's all instrumental as it winds down. I like the effects on the synth and the guitar, as well as a quick little burst from the drumsticks tapping. I liked a lot of the synth and effects they implemented on the instrumentations on the song. Um, and even without like the whole like laughing sound effect, that we mentioned earlier, like yeah, I mean it does remind me a good little bit of the Gorillas. So I gave this a 7.6 out of
Okay.
10.
Nice. I'm glad I'm a little higher on this one than you.
Okay.
So I have a little snippet here. I need to send this to you. I was gonna send it to you before the pod, but I was like, I don't want us to quote things from the same article. But it was an interview with let me go back and look. I want to say it's Monster something Hero magazine. I'm sorry.
Okay.
But it's a quote from Henry. Get back up to my track 3 here. So he says, there was one point that I, being Henry, left the room for 20 minutes. For whatever reason, I came back to Pierre having produced a solid version of the entire song. Then he left the room, he being Pierre, the other brother, left the room for 20 minutes, and I felt the need to respond by writing out all the lyrics while he was gone.
Huh.
It was one of the easiest writing days that we've ever had together. So
Nice.
I like that.
That's cool.
Every now and then you hear about like artists like Dylan wrote like a Rolling Stone on like a napkin in a bar. Just like that.
Okay.
Like sometimes artists, I think Stevie Nicks wrote a couple songs in like 10 minutes.
Sure.
That were just bangers. And it's like, nice. So this was one of my first like 2 listens where it really stuck out to me. It has a lot of like sounds like insert whatever group or artist here, which I say that and I only really talk about 2. On the intro, the machine like synth noise reminds me a little bit of something from like XXYYXX, but like
Okay.
a later album.
Sure.
Gorillaz definitely with the laughing sound that we talked about earlier. And kind of vocally even there's a couple times musically throughout the album where I hear like a gorilla similar, but even like vocally on this one I can piece them together and find similarities.
I did want to ask, like, on this album, did you pick up on a lot of similarities to Tame Impala, or not really?
At times, yeah. I want to say I probably touched on them at some point too.
Okay, I feel like I do, but not as much as I kind of expected to.
More like Currents, not really like anything. For me, it sounds at times like Currents, something off of Currents for sure.
Okay.
But
yeah, because
I think originally before we listened to it, you said it reminded you of.
It has its moments.
Yeah, it does. Sure. I'm not denying that at all.
But not not to a crazy extent.
The vocals remind me a little bit of West End Girls by Pet Shop Boys, only at certain parts, but the pronunciations are like very similar. I had the same verse as you. You said I could come out to see you. $30 at 2 a.m. I made my brother worry. I really like that. I made my brother worry because it's like they're fucking brothers. It's kind of cool. And I feel like that could be like a nice little thing in a live performance where it's like, I'm sure that is a real, like a real thing that happened. Like, what the fuck are you doing going out? This is kind of sketchy. Yeah. Like, I feel like I could relate it to something me or you would have done in our younger days where it's like, what the fuck are you doing, bro?
What you doing, man? I'm worried
at 2 a.m. Going out there. But I like that. And so you just landed in New York. Everywhere else just can't compete. It's funny because that landing in New York kind of comes up later with a couple other tracks. We'll talk about that later.
Well, that is like part of that is like a big thing on this album was that they relocated from New Zealand to New York.
Yep.
So.
Yep. I seen on their Spotify it was like New Zealand to New York.
Mm-hmm.
But a West Side Girl is what you'll always be to me. That is definitely where I pick up on the Pet Shop Boys. Which I don't know if you're familiar with that song or not. Maybe. It was in GTA 5.
I probably am. It's just not coming to mind
you're
right
you're
away.
Good. It's not something Pet Shop Boys I'm not really familiar with.
Sure.
I really do like that West Side Girl pronunciation. Around 126 is probably like the best part for me. It's roughly around the middle, which I feel like is a nice spot. Just a sweet spot on the track. Also, like you noted, the pronunciation of that Golden Gate Girl.
Mm-hmm.
It's very nice. I saw some talk on the album on Reddit. It was hard to find, like we kind of touched on earlier. There's not a lot out there.
Even on YouTube, they
Yeah.
don't have a ton of views either.
Yeah. So kudos to you for picking this album. It's a very good under the radar album.
The funny thing is I picked this album because it popped up on, like, I just got an ad for them playing. They were just in Columbus, like,
really?
a couple weeks back.
Damn, we missed them.
Right. And I was like,
I'd go see them totally.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Same here. But I was like, oh, what's this? And then I looked it up, and it's like, oh shit.
We're good.
Okay.
We're good. Okay. I don't want to say Golden Gate Girl is my favorite track on the album, but I definitely do like it. Back to the Reddit thing, though, I did see a bunch of people talking about just the overall album. I didn't really see, like, people discussing track. Like, when we did Our Love to Admire by Interpol, every track had, like,
its own
thing on Reddit where it's like, let's talk about this track, so it made it easy. But this one was kind of just, like, talking about the album, and a lot of people were, I'm getting a little bit off topic here of my one track, but a lot of people were very, like, high on the album. But I seen one person, I'm assuming she's female, because she's like, Golden Gate Girl might be my favorite, but it's a little biased. And it's like, respect, though, because I'm sure, like, there's plenty of little girls in California.
Sure.
And women, too. All of them. All the female anatomies just being like, I love this song. It's about me.
Yeah.
But I like it. And when I read that comment, I was like, that's nice. Someone's got, like, a little bit of bias for that, just because it could, they can relate to it. I'm a little high on this one, I feel like, but I gave this a 7.9. This definitely made it to my like songs on Spotify, and it'll definitely stick there.
Okay.
Takes us on to track number 4. We got Sideways. Coming in at 3 minutes, 8 seconds. Another very electric intro. Lyrics start really early on this one, around the 5 second. Tell me it's all in my head, because I'm keeping it to myself. You've been looking at me sideways. Name drops the song in the first 15 seconds. This one is a nice solid piece. It's much more straight to the point and pop sounding. I'm surprised this wasn't a single. It wasn't, was it?
I feel like this probably was, honestly, because this feels like this was almost built to be a single.
Yeah, that's... So, maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. I don't know if we're 100% sure on that. I thought you did.
No, it was.
It was? Okay.
It was the last
single. It was the last one, all right. Maybe that's why I was a little confused on it. So, it was a single. So, I guess it's whatever. I'm glad it was a single, because it should be. Sometimes when we do this, especially doing the pod, it's like some of these you're like, this is a manufactured single, I feel like. Maybe not so much with this group, because I don't feel
not as much.
Yeah, I don't feel like these guys are very, like...
I guess this one... let me rephrase it. This feels almost like a more obvious single.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
This is the butter.
Yeah.
This is butter on that bread that your friend was eating back in the day.
Yeah.
Your friend's brother.
My friend's brother, yes.
Yeah. You're like, no friend of mine.
Fuck, all right.
The verse that follows what I previously read is, some things are hard to forget. Can I just put it to bed? Yeah, that's if I had it my way. If I had it my way.
If I had it my way.
There's a lot of good writing on this. I mean, I get into it on multiple songs, but, like, some things are hard to forget. Can I just put it to bed? And if I had it my way, it's like, that's a relatable line, because, like, we all kind of carry some stuff, and it's like, man, if I could just not have to ever think about that again, that's how I would do it if I had it my way. And it's like, it's very relatable, and it's a lot of this album, like I talk about it in my closing notes, it's very, like, kind of upbeat, but it's like when you step back and really analyze it, it's not, but it, like, at first glance, it really comes off as, like, very...
It's on some pumped up kicks type shit.
Yes, it's, very similar in a way to that, where it's deceiving in a way. But it's good. It's great. There's a little bit of repetition on this, and that's throughout the album. I'll probably sound like a broken record, because I'm going to bring that up multiple times. But the repetition with this genre and just the overall writing, I think it's kind of... It goes unpunished, because it fits the genre and it fits the album, and it doesn't get stale at any point. I gave this, might be a little low on it, because I was listening to it again today, and I was like, I do like this one. I gave this a 7.3. I could see me easily going to a 7.5, but I'm going to stick with my original score of a 7.3.
Okay. We're both actually really close on this one. The song opens, no music, like, right off the bat, with this, like, whacking sound effect. I'm almost out.
I'm sorry.
No, you're fine.
I'm interrupting.
What do you want me to bust out the wine?
Well, no, I was just gonna go get another beer.
Should I bust out the wine?
It's up to you. We can always save it for next week when you don't have a headache.
Yeah, let's do that. But fucking we're gonna take a quick break. We're gonna come right back to this. We'll be okay. We are back. So I was just getting into track number 4, Sideways, at here, and it said 3 minutes and 7 seconds. The song opens with no music and this like almost like a quacking sound, like 4 times in a row. The music and vocals come in about 4 seconds in. The guitar is very, I don't know, it has this distortion to it that makes it sort of fade in and out of clarity. The drums, I'm pretty sure, are from a drum machine. There is a clap that's they're definitely the claps are absolutely from a machine. If not, like they got a sample of a clap and then just repeated it.
I was
because
kind of
it's
curious
too-
about the percussion because it just being the two of them. I
I-
also kind of wonder how that works in a live performance. I would kind of think they have like
They have
some
to have
other
other
members.
yeah,
You
they
would
have to.
think.
With just the two of them, yeah.
I mean, they at
yeah.
least got to have someone there hitting the buttons.
Yeah. So yeah, I would say I feel like they are the type of band to have like because when I went to go see Remy Wolf, I was like, fuck, she has a lot of
Well,
like
Lord had the
people.
same thing. She had a little group
Yeah.
of musicians off to the side
Yeah.
doing everything.
So, but I don't know. I mean, they did go on tour with 21 Pilots, and the two of them, like it's mainly just like the two of them. So, but anyway, I'm like 90% sure that like the drum was from a drum machine.
Yeah, that's a big limb to go out on, but yeah. It's a safe bet.
The quacking sound from the start of the song is again used as like is used throughout like musically, and it keeps a steady and like pretty upbeat pace to the song. Um, Tell me it's all in my head, 'cause I'm keeping myself together and looking at me sideways. At 18 seconds until the chorus hits, there is a pretty deep beat from the synth that hits and comes back after the chorus. Um, and now it's coming back around again. Another story that you wrote me in. I was looking for a way to win. I was just waiting for the plot to end. Whatever happened to a fresh start? Maybe civil is a lost art. On the second verse, I like that line. Maybe civil is a lost art.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's good. On the second verse, what sounds like a keyboard can be heard a little bit more clear. I was critical of the last album for having simple and repetitive lyrics. This song kind of has that too. A lot of repetition lyrically and musically, but a little bit of deviation musically. But,
I think it gets a pass though. It's a lot.
It does.
It's a different tempo altogether than Christine McVie.
It's the way it's presented.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But I mean, then again, these albums are fucking 50 years apart,
Yep.
so it makes sense for
it's like the one that put this album out was dead.
Yeah. Yeah.
Christine was R.I.P.
Right.
My little silver fox.
R.I.P. I think this song gets away with it a little more because of its presentation, and its high energy. It keeps it like infectious and like.
Yeah, you're like, fuck, I want to hear the verse again, and it's like, oh, here it comes.
Yeah,
it's like a train on the tracks. You just see it coming.
This is probably the most dance and pop oriented song, at least thus far, off the album, and maybe off the album as a whole. There is like one or two other songs that are like kind of up there with this. I gave this a 7.4 out of 10. So I'm like fucking
You're right there with me.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, we're neck and neck on that one.
Probably not gonna be neck and neck on the next one though, boy.
Probably not.
I even put a boo.
Oh,
Mike,
really?
yucky. No, I meant boo as in like you're gonna boo me for my score.
Okay. This being placed between two songs and coming up just short of the halfway mark of the album, this, as the title suggests, is like a proper interlude. The track is very synth, keyboard heavy, with a swell at 18 seconds, and it persists throughout the song. 33 seconds in, the words of the tracks. It's basically a voicemail left wishing a happy belated birthday. Also makes mention of the time difference.
So we don't really know if it's belated or before.
Exactly.
Because those time changes, that shit can be a little complicated.
Yeah. But yeah, it also makes mention of celebrating the birthday in New York City.
Do you know what brother this is for?
I do not.
I don't either. I
The
was just
younger
curious.
brother, I think, but I
I don't
can't
even
remember
know
which one that is. Yeah.
Look at
Um,
us.
But it makes me think back to Golden Gate Girl with meeting in Sacramento.
hmm
You just landed in New York. The West Side Girl. This could potentially be the Golden Gate Girl. The last 5 seconds has a looping key being played.
The Golden Gate
The
Girl.
Golden Gate Girl. Um, yeah, the last 5 seconds has like a looping key being played. Again, this isn't something that really stands on its own, but
Mm-mm.
within the context of the album, it exists as a solid interlude because I mean, it has something that came before, and it has a big part of a song yet to come. I thought this was a. With that being said, I thought this was a really good interlude. I gave this a 7.4.
I'm a lot lower than that on it, but I agree with what you're saying. It fits. Even track one, it's not an interlude, but I consider it one just based on its length and the fact that it doesn't really provide a lot for us. This one, however, does provide a little bit. It's unique in that way, as it provides a backstory or the answer to the later track, the question, which features pieces of the same recording. We just don't hear it all here. I have everything here. I'm going to read it. I don't really have a whole lot after this, but the voicemail, what sounds like a voicemail, goes, "Hey, happy belated birthday. I think it was yesterday. With the time zones, I'm not sure. But I think it's still Sunday night at yours. So I hope you had a lovely day surrounded by friends and that you felt very birthday ish and very loved. And I hope it's the start of a wonderful year for you. We'll celebrate in New York City and enjoy your hangover, probably. Bye." Overall, so I wasn't crazy about this one, and I could see it if it was left out. Like I could live my life perfectly fine without it being there.
Sure.
I did give this a low score, like I said. I literally put in here, "Ooh, Mike." I gave it a 5.5.
Oof.
Yeah, and
Dog.
I could give it a easy 6. But I'm not gonna do a whole lot more than that, just because while this album is somewhat concepty, I don't know if this really needs to be in there. But I don't hate it. I almost think it could have just been tagged on to something else and not given its own track. But saying that, I don't know what you would tag it on with. So it almost has to be by itself.
Okay.
But yeah, that's all I have for it. I could go a little higher just because what you said to me uh, does kind of make me want to be a little bit more higher score giving to it. But I'm going to stick with what I gave it. And that will move us to track number 6, which is Backseat. This is the longest track on the album, I think.
It should be
Yeah.
6:23.
I think we have another track later on that's like 5 minutes, but yeah. 6:23 is the runtime, as you said. It's very electronic, humming noise off of like just like a boom boom. The guitar comes in around 20 seconds. Vocals start at 34 seconds. The first verse is delivered very slow, stretching out the pronunciations, which is really exaggerated on the delivery. I'm on empty. From about 118 to 2 minutes, around 150 to be exact. Um, there's like it's amplified before dropping off. This is a very lengthy track, almost 6.5 minutes. It does have a little bit of repetition, like I said before. Overall, though, I feel like with the genre being pop, it sort of gives it an excuse to do that. It's very dancey and clubby. Um, I noticed the use of backing vocals a lot on this track, more than any other track up to this point. Um, I noticed a lot more Tame Impala sounds here around 339. It sounds like something directly off of Currents, which is an album that I've listened to a lot back in the day when you introduced me to it.
Sure.
Um, excuse me. Um, there is an instrumental section that takes over that really steals the show and kind of the last stint till the end of the track. At 5 minutes 50 seconds, there's a switch up with a nice, energetic, like pump up song. Kind of reminds me of something Moby would create, but still with a little bit of Tame Impala vibes. Like I could see the two of them definitely being. I don't want to say inspiration, but it sounds similar. Um, Song ends though with something that reminds me of like I don't want to say a horror movie, but it's just like a haunting sound, I guess, kind of.
Okay.
Um, At first, I wasn't really crazy to the instrumental that is attached to the first half of the song. However, it did grow on me,
Okay.
and separate the two from each other. It's a great.
That's where a lot of the length comes from. It's just
Yeah,
that
that
extended
it's
outro.
yeah, it's almost half the song. Um, if you split these two up and made the instrumental more of an interlude, I think that would be phenomenal. Overall, still solid. This was one of the songs last night when we were texting. This was one of the ones that I bumped up because it's like I literally came to the point when I first did my notes. Because this was early on, I was like, I don't like them. I don't like the instrumental in the end. But it actually really grew on me, and I really do like this. I updated my score last night to a 7.4, but I think I could bump that up even honestly a little bit higher, just because it is a good track, and I do really like it a lot. Like I said, my original score was a 7.4. I'm gonna give it a 7.6 just for the hee haw of it.
Okay, we're close again. Song opens up. There's like a beep beep beep, and then a cocking sound effect with a boom to really start off the song. 2 seconds in, the music gets going very electronic with a drum beat, and then even more so at 17 seconds, more synth and guitar comes in, and it becomes like very dancey. Vocals at 33 seconds. From the from the back seat, watch it roll by slow, perfectly controlled. I'm empty, and my bloodshot eyes are
And that's
following the light.
that verse takes like a there's it's very
Yeah, it takes its
yeah
time.
it's slower than the music backing it.
Yeah, very much
The
so.
vocal delivery.
Absolutely. The vocal delivery kind of comes off as like slow and like almost kind of like exhausted, like my bloodshot
Mm-hmm.
eyes. I'm on
You're
empty.
just drained, yeah.
The vocals becoming like layered, um, and like just so like really layered on the pre-chorus. Still slow and deliberate. At 1 minute and 3 seconds, this metallic guitar comes in on the pre-chorus, getting a few like seconds by itself before the chorus starts. So take my picture. You told me I'm the one you wanted. You really wanted. But you don't love me like I love you. I don't believe you. I take the keys and I'm gone.
I take the keys
And
and
I'm
I'm gone.
gone.
No, it's really good. Fuck, I do like this one.
It's good, right?
Yeah, I like you
Um,
singing it too.
oh, they're blushing. Glad we don't have video for this.
Mm.
I'm like peeing.
Like my fucking
I'm
dog.
sopping. Um, the vocals are like more energetic on the chorus. I particularly enjoy the repeating of the end of lines on the chorus. It gives a fun sort of emphasis to them. My picture, the one you wanted, you really wanted.
It
Um,
reminds me. I'll touch on this later, but it reminds me of something upbeat enough, like Remy would put out.
yeah,
I can see her energy in
I can
this.
totally see her like
Yeah,
doing this.
yeah.
Yeah,
I'd like to see them do a collaboration. I think
that
that
would
would
be
be.
fun because they're both up and coming, and they both
I would watch that porno.
her just fucking the brothers. Yeah, dude, same. Even
Eiffel
though,
Tower and
even though, I guess one of the brothers, like his whole thing is he is in a long distance relationship that he has been in for. They've been together for like over a decade now, which is crazy.
I'm sure long distance is probably a lot easier when I would
Have
assume they're
money.
somewhat successful now, so
Yeah. Um.
I mean
But
they
yeah.
probably ain't making the money me and you were making, but
Yeah. I mean, we chump change over there. Yeah. You went across the bay. You better be only paying $30 at 2 a.m.
fuck.
Um.
I might have to hit up Capital One for that.
The post chorus has some like vocalization. It's kind of like a in the back, and a like higher pitched delivery from the back seat, from the back seat. Like that's pretty good. That's catchy. I also like there's a woo at 3:35 through to the end. Is like an extended outro with some distorted vocalization. At 4:54, it really slows down and has some like really heavy, has some like really. Sorry, the music started back up for a sec. Um, has some really like heavy buzz to the synth and a solid like drum beat. I enjoy the slower pace in parts of the music. Um, the song like leading into some very upbeat electronic dance style of music, and then the long musical outro. I thought it was a nice addition to the song, even if it might have been like a little
It
much.
grew on me though, and I started to like it more. I
Yeah,
listened to it again. I had it on today when I was at work, and I was like, you know what?
I'm with it.
I'm with it. It's fine. It's
It
fitting enough.
it kind of reminds me of low key, like the extended outro kind of reminds me a little bit of Me by Gary Newman.
Okay,
The Me I Eat Dust that one
I can see it.
a little bit. But I gave this a 7.7 out of 10. So I'm right there with you.
Yeah,
Politics, track number 7, 4 minutes and 32 seconds. Opens with like a one, two,
yeah.
one,
Nice
two,
little drum
three,
count
four.
on the intro. Yeah.
Yeah, to start off the song, leading into a drum beat with a like a synth clap, leading into the guitar and some vocalization, with the lyrics hitting around 26 seconds. Before I really get into this song, I should mention one of the critiques of this album is that it is kind of derivative of The Strokes and Tame Impala, like we said before. Um, this song is very much like The Strokes between its vocals, its music. It sounds a lot like something that would have came off the album Room on Fire. Um, the vocals, the lyrics, he's off again. New blood is eating out his palm again, mixed up in metaphors and confidence. Reading the room is like a party trick, and then he's on his way out. And
And
then
then
he's
he's on
on
his
his
way
way out.
out. Yeah.
Um, some solid electronic guitar coming off this line. At 1 minute and 10 seconds, the synth drops away, the vocals echo and fade out with a small synth swell leading into a quiet and spacey like dreamy chorus. Am I wrong to think that I could be the one to think I might be onto something? I gave your words all the weight in the world, and now I don't know who to trust. The music gradually picks up pace before jumping back into the synth and guitar after the chorus. On the third and final chorus at 2:30, um, it maintains the synth, guitar, drums, and claps. The bridge has a vocal delivery that it has like some effects to it with some lines I really like. I gave you every word that I put on the page. I gave you every smile on a tired face. I gave you every dream I was dreaming about. You only gave me reasons to doubt myself. At three, gave me reasons to doubt myself. Like that's really good.
Mm-hmm.
At 3:30, the music shifts to the outro and becomes distorted and warped before getting guitar and drums heavy at the 4 minute mark. It becomes like full instrumental for the remainder of the song. I really like all the directions this song goes in, and also the fact that it sounds like the Strokes. It does help quite a bit. I went high on this. I gave this a 8.2 out of 10.
Okay. I'm a little bit lower, but this is probably one of the ones I could have revisited and gave it a little bit higher of a score. I have another quote here from Henry, basically saying, I'm going to read it here word for word. Politics claims the title of most lyrics written on the album because I found the lyric sheet for the session and it stretches something like 11 pages. The song has a pretty wide range of emotion, so it was tough to find the right blend of sass and sensitivity. It will always hold a special place on the album because it holds some of the most intimate moments, in quotations, in the first chorus, as well as more aggressive moments in the guitar line outro, and marries them in a way that feels kind of liberating. So that was a quote from Henry.
I like that
Henry, yeah.
because I can totally see it.
Hmm.
It is kind of a juxtaposition of like the kind of tones and vibes that it's going for.
Yeah, I agree. Um, so similar here to what you had. It's a nice little drum count on the intro. I thought it was quieter and mellow, more so than what we've had in previous tracks. The guitar is playing like a spacey riff. Timing wise, not like sound wise. It's not like psychedelic. It's just like a very spaced out guitar riff. It's very pop sounding. Again, I mean, the theme of the album, I don't know if we listed genres, but it's definitely pop heavy. Um, the vocals are delivered a little bit differently than previous tracks. I really thought this track felt more serious. I thought this was another example of excellent writing, and the music behind it is just well matched. They complement each other really well. Um, the verse that I have here, I think it holds a lot of weight. I gave your words all the weight in the world, and now I don't know who to trust. I thought that was just nice. Some of the writing in here, it's like, God damn, this is such like a happy sounding song, but it's just
Some real shit they talking.
yeah, it's heavy. It's definitely got some meaning to it. I did enjoy this one. I didn't get into it a lot. Like I didn't really find anything jumping out and grabbing me, like I did in some of the other tracks. But this is a solid, easy listen. Like runtime. What do I have the run? 4.5 minutes. Like it's not a bad track at all. 4.5 minutes is kind of where you're pushing the edge for me personally, where it's like, okay, that's a decently lengthy song. That's got some girth to it. But it was an easy listen. This whole album is an easy listen. None of it was rough. I only give this a 7.2. It's still a great track.
Sure.
It's just kind of so-so. But the whole album overall is great to me. This is
Yeah.
This is definitely some of the good stuff off of it. Moving on to track number 8, we have The Question. Coming in at 3 minutes, 17 seconds. As we talked about a little bit before, I know I did, I'm pretty sure you did too. This contains pieces of what sounds like the voicemail from the birthday interlude track. I have another quote here from Henry. The Question is probably the most mellow and romantic feeling on the album.
I disagree.
You think so?
Well, no, I don't. The final track is like,
yeah.
It's not
funny because I have a quote for that track too.
It doesn't get it gets a little louder on the final track than this does. I think this one, like,
as far as the romanticness of it,
I know, like the vocal delivery. This one has like a softness to it that is like pretty well maintained.
Okay,
the
I see what
final
you're saying.
song, it like in the second half, like the vocals get a little bit more loud.
I see what you're saying. To be fair, he does say mellow and romantic.
Sure.
He's tying them in together. We wanted to make something that felt like a starry-eyed love story.
I can hear it. Yeah.
With the edge of realism that would serve to acknowledge the weirdness of modern day. I like this word. Modern day situationships.
Sure.
Some of the stuff that our grandparents didn't have to deal with.
No, it was like we're together.
It's a different world altogether. Around the 1 minute mark, the track really drops.
Do you know what the question is?
I do not.
Okay.
Are you going to elaborate? Because I need to know.
I'll get to it. Yeah.
I need the answers. We might have to take a break then, because I do have to pee and I don't want to miss out on anything.
Okay.
So right around the 1 minute mark, the track drops and it sounds excellent. I don't need a friend. I got enough of them. It's another well-written track that flows. It's funny because I was literally, that's the Family Guy thing, right?
Yeah.
Because I was literally looking at your fucking beer earlier, and it's like strawberry and pineapple wheat, and I literally thought of Will Wheaton.
Wheat beer.
Jesus Christ. This is another well-written track though that flows excellent with the music. I really enjoyed the verse. Moon beaming in the parking lot. The vampires link up in the corridors.
Yeah.
Said that she knows a spot. We can get a little night ambiance. Mm-hmm. It's nice. There's another thing that I noticed was the little censored noise on the end of I don't need a friend. And it reminded me of MF Doom, Deep Fried Friends.
Okay.
Where the one verse is like, I can't remember. I was hoping you would.
I don't, not off the top of my head.
It's like, friends, who's got something, or I don't know. He elaborates on the verse. Anyways, I thought it was a nice little touch that they censored that, because it's like, it just kind of leaves it open for interpretation, I guess. I did really like this one. I gave it a 7.6. With that being said, I don't want to miss out on what you said. So do you want to take a quick break and then we'll get back into it?
We'll take a quick break.
All right, guys. We'll be right back.
And we are back. Track number 8, The Question. There's like a single beat to open the song as what to me sounds like an edited in post, like sounds like a stringed instrument, perhaps like a violin maybe. Like you can really you can hear it when you listen to it. It kind of becomes a little less edited, and you can really just hear like that underlying like stringiness to it. The piano keys and some synth. And vocalization, as you can hear the same girl who left the voicemail on the birthday interlude. Hey, I hope you're good. Nice to hear your voice note yesterday. I was thinking, it's also good to be missing your city, you know? Maybe you know you found your place, you know? I just arrived at JFK, which is the airport in New York. So there you go. At 22 seconds, the beat and the vocals come in, and they're very like smooth and cool and, like you said, romantic. Uh, Moonbeaming in the parking lot, the vampires link up in corridors. Said she knows a spot we can get a late night ambiance. On the pre-chorus, either the bass or an additional background layer of synth can be heard. Uh, so here we are now. I'm feeling the tension. Wait, let me say that right. So here we are now. I'm feeling the tension. I'm making impression. She asked me the question.
No.
Which the question, if I had to guess, was going based off his response, like you said, situationships. It's like the question, what are we? And I said, I don't need. Well, I guess it depends. There's like some layered vocals as the music comes back in, along with the string instrument, for a really clean transition into the rest of the chorus. Um, Will you love me till the end? When all the lights go out, will you tell them all again? 'Cause I don't need a friend. I got enough of them. If I tell you what I want, then you won't have to pretend. The second pre-chorus, you can hear some like twinkling keys and some additional vocalization. Um, Within like an even bigger like musical pop going into the chorus, with even more musical touches and some vocalization, like a little bit of a rattling noise. I do like the "'cause I don't need a bleep." Like that. That was good.
I think it goes back to the voicemail because it's almost like
Mm,
a voicemail tone.
okay, that makes sense. At 256, that's smart. I didn't
I didn't think
notice
of that
that.
either until you said that, and I heard you say it, and I was like,
Huh.
okay.
So, yeah, the some very distinct guitar comes in, like to close out the song. This may very well be my favorite song off the album. The beat and the music kind of feel they feel very 90s with like a smooth delivery of lyrics, that feel thematic with what has come before on the album. I went high on this one. I gave this an 8.8.
It could be higher than what I gave it as a 7.6 because that I don't
Need a yeah.
and it's relatable in a way. Like there's definitely been times where I'm like, yo, what? I never really came out and asked a question like that, but like
Sure.
I definitely had thoughts in my head where it's like I don't know what the
What
fuck
are
is
we
going
doing here?
on, but
We're gonna see what happens.
eh.
On to track number 9, 425, coming in at 4 minutes and 37 seconds. The guitar.
Kudos to them though for not making it the same.
I was wondering if it was
I
going
was
to
at
be, and it
first
wasn't.
because Spotify doesn't give you when you see the little title,
Sure.
and then once I realized the track
Mm-hmm.
and the writing and what 425 was, I was like, I'm glad they didn't make it exactly
Sure.
the same. It would have been tacky.
The guitar, like right out the gate, like kind of sounds like a little bit of like reminds me of like some 2000s like Jimmy Eats World a little bit.
Okay.
The drum machine comes in at 10 seconds with the vocals. Halfway through the first verse, more synth and bass can be heard. On the pre-chorus, additional guitar can be heard coming with some like more layered like vocals. So I'll be the one, I'll be the bad guy, and I'll make you believe it was easier for me, but it ain't coming cheap. Oh. The vocals sound like they're very softly delivered, contrasted by the delivery of the chorus with some more like attitude to them. Uh, so call it a crime or whatever you like. I still see your face in the dead of night. Uh, it's 425 and my head is a mess. There's probably a lot that I need to address. The second verse gets quiet again with a like ping sound effect that repeats. The second pre-chorus gets muffled with its vocal delivery. Coming off the second and final chorus at 3:02, the music switched up and becomes very synth and distorted on the instruments, and also on the vocals too. I don't think about it. Like it's really good. Don't think about it. And then about it. The outro brings back the higher energy and punchiness to the beat and guitar. I do like the lines. Can't think about it. There's something about it. I could do without it. Damn near decided. Oh, fuck it.
Yeah.
Let me just ride out. Yeah. The synth starts to swell, and then the guitar becomes more twangy to close out the song. I gave this a 6.9 out of 10.
Really?
But I might
I really like this one.
bump that up.
I was gonna bump mine up.
I'm bumping that to a 7.2. So 7.2 for me.
Okay. So this is a nice.
Damned animal. That was my cat going after the food. Sorry.
So yeah, 425. I really like this song. It's very quiet and subtle on the intro. The lyrics are clear and sing kind of soft compared to what we've heard before. The tempo of the music is given to us faster than the lyrics, which has kind of been a pattern throughout. But it's a nice little like mismatch that I think we notice here more. Around a minute and 15 seconds is where the track won me over. So call it a crime or whatever you like. It's very catchy, and the change up musically is like stepping into the deep end of the pool. How I put it, it really changes it up. Really, up until the 115 mark, I was thinking I wasn't going to be crazy about this one, but like I said, it did win me over.
It picks up steam.
Mhm.
It gets going.
However, though, at 148, we slow back down more into like the previous what we got before that 115 mark. But at this point, it's already won me over, and I really appreciated the drop back into like the lower gear where everything kind of slowed down. At 2 minutes 25 seconds, we kind of drop back in again with it kind of picking up speed. This was another track that I really like the writing. That there's a verse. I want to say it's repeated a couple times. It's 425, and my head is a mess. There's probably a lot that I need to address. I don't think about it. Like I said in previous tracks, there's some repetition of the vocals, but at this point, it's like I'm in it because I like the content that I'm given, and it's like repeat it.
You know you're in for something good.
Yeah, it's nice. I look forward, like we were talking about earlier. You see it coming back around, and you're like,
Good.
I'm ready for it. Yeah. There is kind of like a stretch that I wasn't really keen on, but it's brief. It's from 304 to 337. I just wasn't really big on that section and didn't really find it necessary. Nonetheless, it was short, and it's a solid song musically and vocally. I really enjoyed it. I thought this one was very powerful. Very powerful until the last verse where we get, oh, fuck it. Let me just ride out.
Fuck it.
Yeah. It's not that I lost all the love that we had. The less that I love, the better off that I am. And it's like, God damn, that's a powerful line. And later on, I bring up an interview. I sent you the link to that article. Definitely check that out. Butterfly Boy, the brothers talk about how they're both so sensitive. And this is one where I was like, damn, the less that I love, the better off that I am. It's like, I just kind of get an impression from them. Obviously, I don't know them. I didn't know anything about this group until this album. But it made me appreciate the music more. Like the more I read about them and their actual input. Overall, I gave this a 7.5, but I'm gonna bump that up to a 7.8 because I really did like this one, and it's very upbeat and it's powerful to a degree.
Okay.
And that will move us to track number 10, Isolation. Coming in at 4 minutes 2 seconds. Just like previous tracks, we get a very soft and mellow intro. It really keeps that pace until around 113, where we get a little bit more noise. Sounds to me like a cash register. I want to say later on we get a sound that almost sounds like a coin that
Yeah.
stops spinning. Okay, this is it. It's a little farther down in my notes. Um, so that sound around 113, the cash register sound. After that, we kind of funnel into a fuller sound. It's not a huge change, but I think it kind of sets more of a direction for the song at that point. Um, the intro reminds me a little bit of "Cigarette Daydreams" by Cage the Elephant.
There was points in this album I was like, this kind of reminds me of Cage the
It's
Elephant.
really only the first 8 seconds. The strumming pattern is different because I literally listened to them back to back just to see if they were close. It's a little different, but if you're familiar with "Cigarette Daydreams," this definitely you'll hear it. You'll be like, oh, it's close, but it's not the same. Um, I thought the vocals on this track were delivered more intimate than the previous track. Definitely not the most intimate on the album. With that baby blue colored room, I don't feel love for you, but the thoughts consume. I don't know what it is. Another track that's got slow, like space delivery of vocals. There's a lot of spacing there. It's a slow drip. The vocals are really good on this one, and while I wasn't a huge fan of this one, I really respected the vocals on this one. Um, there is what sounds like a coin stop that stops spinning and falls over at one point. I didn't timestamp that. You probably did. I could see you doing a thing like that. But right around the 218 mark, the track musically expands. It gets a little bit more trippy compared to what we've been given on previous tracks. It's spacey after that timestamp 218, and sort of doesn't really do a whole lot from that point out. It's not a favorite of mine, but it's not a skip either. I do touch on it in my closing thoughts that I would probably dissect this album a little bit if I was to re-listen to it, but I have no problem listening to it cover to cover. Not really a high score on this one. I was more impressed with it than I liked it. So my overall thoughts of it, which I think might be a little low, I gave this a 6.9. That just being it by itself, but on the album, like I said, I wouldn't skip this. I would let this play out, and it's 6.9. I don't think is a fair shake at what it is, but that's what I'm going to stick with.
Okay. So yeah, it's a very quiet opening with guitar followed up by some very like noticeable bass guitar and a drum beat. The vocals are very soft and echoey. It feels very contained and private, kind of like it takes place in a bedroom. And I mean, it's pretty fitting given the name Isolation. This reminds me like a good bit of there was a song, I can't remember what it was, but it was off Melt. There was a song on there that like felt very similar.
I
Yeah,
can see that being a thing.
where it was kind of quiet and it felt kind of private and intimate, and that's kind of what I got from this song. Which is funny because I thought Melt reminded me of Tame Impala, and this reminds me of Melt a little bit, specifically this song. But also another thing is like I noticed the bass at the start of the song. I feel like I don't really notice the bass very much on this album.
Yeah, there's not really a lot of. I don't think that either one of them are playing bass.
No.
They're just
Yeah.
playing electric guitar.
Yeah, it's just not really there. So it's nice whenever it is there. I'm like, oh fuck, look at that.
I do like a nice bass line.
Yeah. Um, if the words would fit the page, maybe that would ease the pain. If my tongue could fit the phrase, would your thoughts evaporate? With your arms around my waist and your breath against my face. It's pretty poetic. Not like it's not profound or anything,
It's
but
not
like
poetry.
yeah, it's poetry. Um, the song implements some clapping and the sound of a dropped coin rattling, which and it's like rattling as like it settles and like you can visualize it. But yeah, it's rattling as it settles, and some vocals that echo as they fade out, as well as the occasional deep key from the piano. Um, if it all became unglued, if the time was almost through, I would give the rest to you. I would give it all to you. Leading us into the chorus, I would give it all to you. Secusis. I'm probably butchering that, but it's Spanish. Cause I was wondering, or cause I wouldn't survive this isolation. The translation is, what is this? The chorus gets pretty pretty out there with the layers of instrumentation and the vocal distortion, as well as the synth, in pretty big contrast to the softer, more reserved build up to this point. Isolation, and like that's repeated like 3 times, as the synth notes kind of start to rise in pitch before going away, and the song ends with the guitar and clapping as Isolation kind of drags out. You actually gave this a higher score than I did. I gave this a 6.7 out of 10. On to track number 11, we have What Do We Really Know? Or What Do We Ever Really Know? At 3 minutes and 53 seconds. This song opens with some like a light drum machine and what almost sounds like a cheerleader chant, or maybe something you would hear at like a summer camp or something like that. Where the birds and the bees and the flowers grow. There's a snake in the grass, so we play in the snow. There's a sun in the sky beaming down on your head. Put your hands to the side and hope for the best. Before the instrumentation comes along about 17 seconds in, it's very like indie rock. What do we ever really know? You can hear some solid bass guitar alongside the guitar. I really like the bass. I wish it wasn't always like so buried underneath the synth whenever it's there. This is another song that reminds me a lot of The Strokes. To me, this song is about growing up and the naivety of just being young. I like how the first verse is about a young man and the second is about a young woman, and about how it's about their shared experiences. Like, what do we ever really know? Ali made a score, made a milli, wanted more, bought a house in St. Topez, heard a knock upon his door. The chorus hits, what do we ever really know, my dear? If the world stops spinning round again, then I don't care. If the globe is frozen by October, be my baby till it's over. I like that line. That's good. Bless you.
Thank you.
The chorus becomes a little more rock oriented with its instrumentation, emphasis on the guitar, drums, and a little bit of keys. The vocal delivery on the chorus kind of reminds me a little bit of Coldplay, actually, just a little bit, just specifically like on the chorus. At 257, there is a synth that lowers in pitch and pace before rising back up on the bridge, leading into a guitar riff. The guitar picks up pace, and the rising pitch from the synth comes back for the outro of the song. The vocals here are quiet and kind of hard to decipher, but I particularly I like these lines. Every single day is a tidal wave. Call it growing pains. Maybe I'm the worst. Maybe I'm okay. I mean, you really can't hear it. It's the lyrics that popped up, and I'm like, okay,
We're rolling with that.
yeah. Maybe I'm the worst. Maybe
There were
I'm
some
okay.
songs on Spotify that I didn't even get lyrics with, like the Spotify.
Sure, same here. Yeah, I like this. I gave this a 8.2 actually.
Okay, I'm a little bit lower. Same thing though, similar to what you had. Just a gentle percussion on the intro, some background vocals. Soon after that, were hard to make out, like you said. I do agree with what you said. It does kind of sound like a little bit of a chant, like a pep rally vibe almost. That main riff kicks in around 17 seconds. The guitar sounds great with the percussion still being slow at like a 4/4 time signature. Lyrics start around 30 seconds. This song, again, like others, has some really good writing in it with a smooth pop sound. I really like the verse. Used to listen for the call, saying you can have it all. Try to be the number one, and then you question what it's for. Again, this is just
Good lyrics.
It's a well-written song. Yeah, I really took away from it, similar to what you said. To me, it's a comparison, especially now, the older we get, where you're just a kid and you think your parents know it all, but then it's like you get to their age, you're like,
Fuck, I'm
what
doing
did
my
they
best.
ever know?
Yeah.
It's like nobody really knows, and there's just an uncertainty that we all face
just living life, and it's like you can't know everything, you can't be everything. Overall, I enjoyed the concept and the writing of this track more than the actual track itself. I respect it more than like I love it. To me, it just wasn't like this is a good track. It's I can't think of the right adjective to describe it, but to me, it's not as catchy as some of the other tracks, so I gave it a little bit lower of a score. I gave this a 7.2, but the
Okay.
writing is just superb, and it's worth. It's not at face value, it's not all that great, but when you look at the deeper meaning of it, I think you get a little bit more worth. So if you're a fan of this album and you're still with us here on track number 11, this is worth more than a 7. But as it's by itself, standalone, 7 for me.
I would recommend maybe check out like Room on Fire by The Strokes, and you can definitely see
See, I'm not a
like
big. I don't know a lot of the Strokes catalog. I know
okay.
you do like them.
It was their sophomore album.
I seen a lot of people mentioning the Strokes when I was reading
Sure.
on Reddit and stuff
Even
like
in
that.
that interview, like the interviewer kind of jokingly was like, "So, do you guys like The Strokes?" And they're like, "Yeah, quite a bit actually."
Is it is that obvious or?
So
But that moves us on to the final track, number 12. We have a runtime over 5 minutes. I have it at 5 minutes 3 seconds. We have Butterfly Boy. I don't have a lot for this one, but I do have another nice quote from Henry. This is from Hero Magazine, which I pulled all my quotes from Henry from that interview on Hero Magazine. If you're a fan of this album, I suggest you just Google Hero Magazine, Balu Brigada.
Balu Brigada.
Balu Brigada. Yeah, just Google that and you'll find it. Um, so like I said, this is from Henry. Butterfly Boy is a song we quickly knew would be an appropriate end to the album. It's a lot more synth heavy and atmospheric, and a lot
Sure.
more introspective than songs we wrote in New York. So it feels audibly obvious to us that it was written in New Zealand. It's us as our most raw and vulnerable, and honestly, just a song about how we're both sensitive dudes. The song was originally titled Deal, and a reference to how it feels like it's part of the deal to be sensitive as an artist, as it gives you the emotional capacity to create things. But thankfully, we wrote a line about how fragile butterflies are, and that meant that we had a way better song title to give it.
Nice. Because there's a line in there
That
about it.
article, that thing I sent you, yeah, definitely check that out because it gives a nice introspective to everything.
Okay.
My thoughts on this is a nice mellow closer. It's very
You
subtle.
played it earlier. For a
Yeah, I
second.
was listening to. Well, it was
In
what
the
was
car.
playing. Yeah, in the
Okay.
car on my way over. Um, and this is subtle cover to cover, unlike a lot of the other tracks, which at least have like some kind of climax or some pizzazz. Um, this is a longer track than some of its partners. I know we had one track earlier that was over 6 minutes, I think,
Mm-hmm.
but it had an instrumental in it. This one, I don't think I have it pointed as anything instrumental. Um, another song that I really did enjoy the writing. Maybe every time I let it cut so deep, it's waking up a part of me that I wanted to feel. I really like that verse. Maybe it's part of the deal. Maybe it's just something to hold me down, or maybe it's a superpower, but it's for real. And it is nice.
But
Like
it's
sometimes it
real.
does suck, like going through some shit, but it is nice sometimes to feel and actually like feel like you have emotions and stuff like that. It's like you have to kind of embrace it in a way, even though it sucks. Which to me, it makes it a very relatable song for a lot of people. Everyone has moments where they can tie this song. I don't care who you are, but you can tie an emotion to this track.
Mm-hmm.
It's another track that does have themes of repetition on the verses, but again, it's going to do that, and it's over 5 minutes. And it's an easy listen, and it's a nice way to say goodbye. I thought it was a nice closing track. I wasn't crazy about it again. It's similar to the previous track where it was more like I appreciate it more than I really adore it. It's nice, and I'm glad it's there, but it just didn't catch me in a way. I feel like I got a little spoiled early on in the album. I gave this a 6.9. I'm gonna say that respectively. It's right there on being a 7 for me, which is like, a 7 for me is like I can listen to this any day and it's good.
Okay.
So it's right on the cusp of being right
That.
there,
Okay.
and I really do appreciate it as a closer.
Okay. So yeah, I got this song like really focuses heavily on the synth side musically, and is mostly sung. At least for the first like 3.5 minutes of the song, it's very soft in its delivery. It really does come off as a bit of like a synth ballad to me. The opening reminds me a lot of A Real Hero by College, with its synth. And like, I don't know, am I tripping, or like does it have like a little bit of like some like Prince elements? Just a little?
Maybe.
Yeah, just a little. Just a little. Um, the drum machine and additional synths come in with the vocals 5 seconds in. Uh, and it goes from one to 100. Hit a nerve and it's spiraling out of control. Um, and it's hard to let it go. It comes with the territory. The vocals have an almost whisper to their delivery that kind of like lulls you in a little bit. They also sync up really well with the drum machine, I thought. Um, like the all out of control. Like it matches up really well with the drums, in my opinion. The pre-chorus has a higher pitched vocal delivery, and here it comes again, and there's nothing you can do because it's nothing that you did. The synth hits this almost like strum that fades out and then comes back in before spinning out. Going into the chorus, the vocals are louder and a little bit more confident in their delivery, accompanied by some backing vocalization. Maybe every time I let it cut so deep, it's waking up a part of me that I wanted to feel. Like that's maybe it's part of the deal. Um, maybe this is something that'll hold me down, or maybe it's a superpower, but it's for real. Is that a part of the deal?
It's for real.
But it's for real. On the second pre-chorus, there is like a rapid string that becomes like more clear before the second chorus really pops. Coming off the chorus into the outro, the synths swell and the vocals become more pronounced and loud, reaching their pinnacle. Didn't say a lot, but I knew it was true. The secrets you keep, I'm keeping them too. You know that I do. I'm keeping for you. I keep them for you. The memories made are too much to lose. I hope that you do remember them too. I hope that you do. I hope that you do. This song really went under my radar up until the last like listen or two of the album. This song ascended my list of favorite tracks off this album in shockingly quick fashion. It's really beautiful and a very sincere ballad where it's just like I'm gonna be vulnerable with you. This is how I'm feeling. Um, and I find it kind of infectious and pretty heartfelt. Yeah, I really like this. I went high on this. I gave this an 8.6 out of 10.
Nothing wrong with that.
So, and that's it. That closes out the album. What are your overall thoughts on this?
Overall, I really liked it. I could definitely go through this and kind of do like a skim. For me, like there's definitely highs of the album. Not really any lows, but there's definitely like favorites of mine. And that's probably how I would listen to it again, would be dissecting it.
If you had to pick like 3 songs off this album to like go back to.
Shit, now you're gonna have to. It's gonna
No,
take a
no.
second for me
You're
to
totally
scroll.
fine. I know Golden Gate Girl would be.
Yeah, Golden Gate Girl definitely.
Question?
Sideways is even good. I know I didn't give it a crazy score. Politics is good too. I mean, 425. I really liked 425.
Okay.
What Do We Ever Really Know was a nice one too.
Do we ever really
Yeah,
know?
like it's hard. I mean, they're all good tracks. None of them are like sucky at all.
Interlude.
Well, there's that, but it's
different.
I appreciate this album a lot. Like we talked about, I think it was off air. This is an album that I would consider buying a copy of. It's good. Let me see here. Where was I at? Da, 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 da. So a comparison for me is around like when we were in Sedona. We were listening. You put on Remy Wolf.
Mm-hmm.
This is an album that I would compare that with, where it's like it would fit. If you put this album on when we were in Sedona, it would fit.
Yeah.
Not everybody there would have been like that. Wouldn't have been their cup of
With it.
tea.
Yeah.
But it fit the atmosphere and the vibe. It's very upbeat.
Sure.
And even like Remy's what album was that?
Big ideas.
Big Ideas. Big Ideas. But it's got some negative points in it too, but like it's popish enough where you're like it kind of disguises it. Similar to this album. I feel like I gave pretty high scores on this. There was a couple that were a little bit below sevens, but honestly, I thought everything was good enough where I could have gave it a 7. I just didn't want to be that guy. I might have been a little bit higher on this album just because the last album, I think I can speak for the both of us, that it was a little abrasive last week with Christine McVie's solo debut album. So this was a really good choice, and thank you for that. Overall, though, I'd probably give this a score of 8 overall. It's, like I said, it's something I would consider buying, and that's not... some of these albums we do, I already have a copy of them, or I'm already familiar enough with them enough, but this was completely new to me, and I didn't really have any expectations at all going into it. But I walked away thinking, I might have to buy a copy of this. I kind of want to play some of it for Lindsay, for sure.
Yeah.
She hasn't heard any of it, just see what she thinks. But I liked it. I really didn't. I enjoyed this one. I thought it was smooth. I didn't think it really dragged at any point.
No.
It's a good album.
Yeah.
And I look forward to hearing what else they put out.
Sure. Absolutely. No, and I had no idea that I knew a song of theirs like before this song ever came out. It was called Designer.
Okay.
And it's like I don't know, maybe like okay, it's from 2023. But yeah, I knew a song of theirs from back in the day. Completely went over my head that it was the same band, but I mean that's cool.
Yeah, you might have to play that for me.
Yeah. Also, I thought this was kind of cool. The album art kind of reminds me of Nine Types of Light. Just a little bit.
Yeah.
Just a little bit.
It is a nice album, Portal, and it just looks like there's a little...
Yeah.
Did you ever play the game Portal back in the day?
I played Portal 2.
Okay. I don't know if that's what I played or not.
But... I played it because it came on the red box. Or the orange box, my bad. The orange box, where it was that, I think it was like Half-Life 2 and Tower
of Defense?
Tower Defense, yeah. Anyway. Yeah, no, this was a pleasant surprise for me as well, because I didn't know this until like, I know I recommended it this week, but I probably didn't know until like maybe like 2 weeks ago. Before that, I didn't fucking know about this album. And I listened to it, I'm like, this is like,
it's good.
Pretty consistently good. Like, fuck, why don't we review this?
Yep.
So, and it's new, like, hell yeah. And no, it never really drags. I think like even like at its worst, it's like
it's fine.
Yeah.
There was parts of it that dragging is just not the right word. It does kind of like hit a little bit of a lull for me, but nothing I couldn't power through in any day, anytime, whatever.
Sure. So yeah, no, I was a fan of this. I really like this. I like you. I would consider buying a copy of this just to have it. Onto the bonus track. We have bonus track is Smokin' and Drinkin' by Everlast, coming in at 3 minutes and 40 seconds. It may very well be like my very like limited knowledge of Everlast, but this song automatically made me think of Whitey Ford Sings the Blues.
Mm-hmm.
This song is off this song being off of Whitey Ford's House of Pain. Sorry, autocorrect is kind of a bitch on the fucking tablet sometimes. It's like, I'm like, no, you're not putting what I want you to put. Whitey Ford's House of Pain. Him, like, Everlast being from the band House of Pain from back in the day. Song opens with a drum beat and some turntable scratching, some guitar. Lyrics hitting at 24 seconds. I'm on my bullshit, barstool pimpin' on a southern fried chicken on a whiskey-soaked August day. Song does get a lot of use of "I'm on my bullshit" opening each verse, chorus, and even serving as like the outro for the song. While it could be seen as repetitive, it does serve the theme of the song and just the kind of lifestyle that this song represents. Uh, on the chorus, like some organ comes in, kind of surprised me a little bit. And it's in the background of the music, so it's not like overly prominent, but it's there. I'm on my bullshit, smoking and drinking, just wasting my time. No worrying, no thinking. More women, more wine. I particularly like the verse when push comes to shove. Got a whole lot of love for the people still holding me down. Got a whole lot of ends, and I kept a few friends. Whole time I've been fucking around. And the lines blacked out on whiskey bench. I sold a lot of ticks, fucked a bunch of hot chicks, and a couple that make you cringe.
Yeah.
That got a good laugh out of
Mhm.
me. I like that. There wasn't anything too crazy in this instrumentally that I can like be like, oh, this here. Um, and it seems like with age, Everlast has definitely become like a little bit more like gravelly in his voice. I went back and listened to Whitey Ford sings the blues, like well, what it's like. You know what I mean? Because I'm just like, let me hear him in like '98,
That's
2000.
like 30 years.
Yeah.
Separation.
And like you hear it's like, wow.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I mean, he's got it now. I imagine like his gravelly voice comes from like drinking a lot of whiskey and smoking a lot of cigarettes, and basically just like practicing what he preaches.
Smoking and drinking.
Yeah, smoking and drinking, not giving a fuck. I'll fuck a chick, don't make you cringe, boy. Like that's
Hey, we've all bagged a couple baggers.
yeah, it happens. I don't really talk about it much, but
Hey,
it
you gotta.
happens.
What I heard is
I'll tell you about it after the pod.
you
but
gotta
yeah,
hit a couple clankers before you can drive a Porsche. You
that's
know what I
right.
mean?
Yeah, man. Uh,
Gotta have a couple beaters.
but yeah, in my opinion, Everlast kind of makes trashy music. But that being said, occasionally it does serve a purpose when the circumstances are right. Like, do I want to listen to Whitey Ford sings the blues any day? No, no. You catch me on the right day, and I'm like, I'm in the right headspace. Yeah, I'm in. Um, on any given day, I would give this like a 6.3 out of 10. But under the right circumstances, I would give this like a 7.3 out of 10.
Nice.
Yeah, if I'm like smoking a drink, I'm vibing.
Yeah, it's
Fuck
definitely
yeah,
a vibe.
throw it
That's
on.
what it's related for me. I wasn't big on this song at first, but it definitely grew on me. I actually first heard this on a episode of Joe Rogan with Everlast. He had him on the show, and he performed this on the episode. It was towards the end of the episode, and it's funny because I'm pretty sure they were both a little fucked up.
Sure.
Joe was definitely fucked
If
up.
I was gonna be with Everlast, like,
Yeah,
all right, man, come on.
but he performed this one, and I actually like that version better because it's a little bit. It doesn't have all the electronic,
Turntables
yeah, and the
shit going on.
turntable. They
Yeah.
still had a guy there in the studio with him on turntables, but it was a little more subtle. Um, I only really know like 3 or 4 Everlast tunes, and this one is definitely the newest to me. He's 59 years old now, so I'm
Fuck.
assuming he was 56, 57.
I think this was from like 2018.
Okay, yeah,
Like this album
maybe
at least.
could be. Anyways, so still above 55. He was older than 55. Let's just say that, which is crazy. He's putting this out at that age, and I definitely have not checked out the rest of the album. Maybe sometime. Like you said, he's not really on my radar. I do appreciate his voice, and he is a very like bluesy singer. And that episode of Joe Rogan wasn't a bad episode. I kind of appreciated him more as a person after listening to that episode. On the actual track though, like I do like Everlast's vocals. They're good, and he has that unique gravelly voice as you described it. We waited about 24 seconds before getting vocals. They are delivered clear, and it's sort of hard to hear under a specific genre, like what the specific genre would be. But I would definitely stick with like an R&B rock sound. That seems appropriate.
A little
Um,
folk in there too.
yeah, I can see that. For me, it's honestly in the writing. The main chorus is catchy and relatable for me personally. It's a nice one. It's a nice song to like smoke and drink to. Like it, you really are just like wasting your time. Like you're not,
Yeah.
you're not at your best when you're intoxicated or just you know,
You have
smoking
no
cigarettes.
apprehensions about it though.
Yeah, no, not at all.
It's like, yeah, fuck, I'm doing it.
But I'm on my bullshit, smoking and drinking, just wasting my time. No worrying, no thinking. More women, more wine. But again, the honesty in the ratings, similar to what you gave the same line. I sold a lot of ticks, fucked a bunch of hot chicks, and a couple that might make you cringe.
Happens.
And I do like the vocals because in a way, he's kind of arrogant in the song, but he says something like that, like, "Yeah, it makes some girls that might
He's
make
like,
you cringe."
Look, I had to carry bail money
Yeah,
on me, man, to
yeah.
get out. Yeah.
So it kind of like levels it out. And musically, like I said, I do appreciate the acoustic version more from JRE.
I just imagine like you like getting in a situation where it's like, fuck, I'm about to be arrested, run to the car, grab like the bail money, pop in the pocket.
Yeah, that's crazy. I was like,
trash.
But he has a nice house in California, so
I'm
he
sure,
obviously
I'm sure.
he
got his.
He don't have money like us, but
no, who does though?
I did think this was a good track to play for someone, especially if they don't know a lot of Everlast. I feel like the main track is, and it will probably always remain, What It's Like. I feel like that is the iconic hit. I like this track though because it does have a little bit of storytelling, similar to What It's Like. But it's apples and oranges. I gave this a 7.3 any day of the week. At a time, this was definitely in like my weekly rotation.
Okay.
It's kind of fallen off. That was probably like a year or two ago. But I still do enjoy this track, and it's not something I would skip if it popped up randomly.
Okay.
So
right on. So not next week. Not next week. The following week.
We will be doing something completely different.
Which I was gonna say. I mean, we could also like maybe like fucking work with. Well, I could come out to your place like on the weekend.
We'll figure something out.
Yeah. Well, the next episode.
We're trying to figure that out. But the next episode will be
a special
10 tracks. It'll be a special, something different. It's going to be 10 covers. I'm picking my 10 covers. These are no particular order for me. If they are for you, you should establish that. But for me, these are just 10 covers that I like. I try to pick covers where I appreciate the cover more than the original.
Oh. I didn't realize that was
I mean, it's whatever you want to make it.
I was just like 10 covers that I think are noteworthy.
I think these are covers that, not all of them, some of them I just was like, I don't know any other covers. So I had to throw these in. But I'm going to go here through my list of 10. I have Pearl Jam, Last Kiss, which was originally, and like I said, these are in no order, by Wayne Cochran. Number 2, I will be doing The Supremes when they covered the Beatles version of Come Together, which was also covered by Aerosmith. And the Beatles version is honestly my least favorite version. Number 3 will be Charles Bradley. He covered Neil Young's Heart of Gold. Number 4, we'll be doing Jolene, not by the original of Dolly Parton, but by the White Stripes. And halfway mark, we have The Sound of Silence, originally done by Simon and Garfunkel, but I will be covering the version done by Boba Flex. Number 6 will be Crimson and Clover, originally done by Tommy James and the Shondells, but I will be doing the Joan Jett version. Number 7 will be All Along the Watchtower, which was originally done by Bob Dylan. I will be doing the Jimi Hendrix version, which as a young teenager, I was crushed when I found out it was a cover.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I don't really care for the Bob Dylan version. I'm not a big Dylan fan.
Sure.
Number 8 will be Korn, Another Brick in the Wall, parts 1 through 3 by Pink Floyd, and I fucking appreciate Korn by putting them all together instead of Pink Floyd where they put it different parts of it. It's like part 1 is like track 2, and then part 2 is track 6.
Sure.
I hate that on the album, but it's a concept album, so I give it credit. Number 9 will be Planet Caravan, done by Pantera, originally done by Black Sabbath. And then my final, number 10, which is not the same as what I sent you the other night, I will be doing Lord's cover of Take Me to the River by the Talking Heads.
Okay.
I kind of forgot about that one. And I'm not sure. I'm guessing kind of that the Talking Heads were the original on that. Not sure. But anyways, Lord covered the Talking Heads version of it.
Okay.
So there we go. Setting the stage for next week.
There we go. I might have you text me that later.
Oh, I will.
Maybe do a screenshot.
I'll do an updated version. Yeah.
I got that.
I got you.
So, and tune in next week,
Whenever.
next episode.
Be there, be square.
Fucking hear those. I'll rattle off mine. We'll get it going. So, thank you so much for listening. I know this has been a fairly lengthy episode. We appreciate you listening. And until next time.
Don't work too hard now.